Hi, everybody. This is Nathan Ware at Rain Networks again. Thanks for joining us again today. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about installing VIPRE. So this is our third video in our series where we're working with the VIPRE Endpoint Security Management Console. In our previous video, we talked a little bit about the site properties box, how to kind of set up some things in there. In our previous video, we just talked a little bit about the VIPRE GUI and kind of how to get around the different tabs and sections that kind of you can move around in the management console to find things. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about installing VIPRE. So there's a couple of different ways that we can install VIPRE. VIPRE gives you some different options just so you can pick whichever method kind of works best for you for the situation that you're in. So let's talk about just a basic version where we're going to create a VIPRE installer. And I'm going to delete some of my previous installers so that I get a fresh installer here. Okay, so let's make some fresh VIPRE installation packages that we could say put on a server share or put on a thumb drive and take around to our computers for installation. Okay, very simple. So what we're going to do, we're going to click this Install Agent button up here in the toolbar, and we're going to walk through this little wizard. So the first thing it asks us is what kind of device we're going to install VIPRE on. In this case, I'm going to choose Windows because I'm going to choose a Windows computer. Then I'm going to hit the Continue button, and now it's going to ask me what policy we're going to put on this installation. So I could create 5 different policies and then create 5 different agent installers, one for each one of those policies. So that if I had a policy for my accounting department, they would have their own installer that would be pre-embedded with their policy settings. I could have another installer like for the sales department that's embedded with their policy settings so that as I install these VIPRE installs, these computers get the settings I want them to get. So in this case, I've created a policy earlier called Nathan's Personal Policy. And like I said, we're going to do a separate video later just on policies. Might actually break that into multiple videos. But for now, I'm just going to go through. I'm going to select this policy and hit continue. Okay, and now it's going to ask me what kind of installation we're going to do. Now, for the sake of this example, we're just going to do a base installation package. I'm going to talk about push installation a little bit later, but for the sake of this, we're just going to create a base installation package. So I'm going to select that, hit continue. Okay, it's going to ask me what kind of agent I want. Endpoint Security is their latest software. The Business Premium business software is the older version. So I'm going to select Endpoint Security because I want the latest and greatest. Click OK. Now it's going to ask me where is it going to put this policy. It's set to save this to my desktop. I'm going to go ahead and go with that. Hit continue. It's going to think for a moment. And in just a second here, you're going to see that I've successfully created the MSI package. Okay, here's that installer right here. All right, and I'm all set. So there's my installer. Pretty easy, right? I mean, I could walk through that in 10 seconds. Once I get fast at it, I can walk through that installation wizard, install agent wizard very, very quickly. So I could now take this MSI, put it on a thumb drive, put it in my Dropbox account to use for later, and have it go up to the cloud so I can use it on different machines. I could put it on a server share. I mean, I could do any number of things with this MSI. I could even set up a group policy in my Active Directory to automate installation through group policy. So there's a lot of different ways that you could then use this MSI to install your VIPRE, and I could even just double click on it and run it. So pretty easy, right? So that's method number 1, just the easy way, create an MSI and then run the installation, okay? Let's talk a little bit about the push install, all right? You might remember from the previous video, we were talking about this GUI and how you can kind of see unprotected computers and protected computers. So when I'm in the unprotected computer tab, I literally have the install now button right here. So I can click on this. I can then tell it what policy I want and what agent I want. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK here. It's going to tell me that it can install or uninstall some manufacturer's other endpoint software. You can see this is a pretty long list of software here. All right. But nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead and hit continue here because I feel confident that VIPRE can handle the uninstallation of the previous software. And away we go. So that VIPRE install has now been initiated over the network to a different computer on our network just by clicking Install Now. Okay? All right. Additionally, I can use the install agent wizard that I used earlier to create my local MSI installer. I can do a push install through here as well. So let's go through here. You might remember seeing this section earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the wizard up. Again, choose your type of device. We're going to do a Windows device. I'm going to use my same Nathan's personal policy. Okay. So remember this screen where we selected create installation package earlier. We're now going to select push install and hit continue. It's going to, again, verify that we're going to do the endpoint security software. I'm going to click OK. And now, because I had connected VIPRE earlier to our Active Directory, I can go ahead and pick the machines that I want VIPRE to install on right here in the console. Okay, so pretty easy to do. Okay, so I'm going to add that computer. I'm going to hit continue, and we are now pushing VIPRE just that fast, just that easy over the network and installing it on that computer. All right, so those are 3 of the common ways that you can quickly install VIPRE. You can either A, make an installation package, you can use the Install Now button from the computer windows here, or you can use the Install Agent wizard up here to do a push installation. So those are the 3 common ways to get VIPRE out to your computers. Thanks for watching this video. Check back for a future video. We're going to talk a little bit about policies, reports, patch management, some of the other cool things that we can do here in the VIPRE Management Console.